So today we're going to talk about using OneDrive in our everyday lives and how we can make OneDrive work for us. And there's a lot of great features we're going to offer. We're going to have this as a step-by-step. You can do screen captures that I go through a highlight. We're going to talk about how and where to save these files within OneDrive. Then we're going to give you some tips and tricks on what some of the popular menu options are that I use. And then we're going to discuss how to share that file with others from OneDrive, keeping you from adding the attachment to an email. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the different sharing options that are available for you. We're going to share the file by copying the link. And then we're going to discuss a little bit about working with the file and what that means to work in a browser or in the app, as well as what does it mean when we actually edit data? Is it being saved? So lots of good stuff here. I know all of these pictures may make it look a lot more complicated than it is, but using OneDrive for your files provides for you a consistent and repeatable place for you to know where your information is. So today we're going to talk about how you can automate that in your life and change just a few things to make this a repeatable, sustainable, and consistent process within your environment. So stay tuned. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is start with an email, and we're just going to send this as a test email here out to myself. So we're just going to send it here. It's an attachment. It has an attachment on it, and it's an attachment that we want to save inside of OneDrive. So let's go ahead. Here it just came in. So here we get the email in, and we notice the little paper clip. It sits right there, but as soon as I mouse over, it goes away. So see the paperclip there above 3:33 a.m.? That is paperclip indicating that there's an attachment. So to save this attachment, we're just going to click down here and we're going to say save to OneDrive. That's all we have to do. We don't have to worry about where it's saving to OneDrive because it's going to go to the same place every single time. So we're just going to hit save to OneDrive. Additionally, we can use automation to save all your attachments automatically and see other videos on that. Notice here it says save to OneDrive, so we're good to go. So let's go ahead and move over to where that is. So we're right here, save to OneDrive inside of our Evernote environment. So let's see what OneDrive looks like. So here we're going to refresh OneDrive and we're going to see if that file indeed made it to where we want it to be. Okay, so let's go ahead and actually I'm going to go ahead and close OneDrive. I'm going to reopen OneDrive for you. So we're going to click on the waffle. My screen's a little out of whack. There we go. We're going to click on the waffle here and we're going to say open up OneDrive right there. Okay, then we're going to click on My Files. It's logical, right? That's where your files should be, inside of My Files. And then once it comes up, we're going to go ahead and click on Attachments. So here you can see it illustrated below in this help document. We selected number 1 there on the waffle, and then we selected number 2, OneDrive. We'll select My Files, and then we'll select the directory called Attachments. And number 5 represents that file coming in to OneDrive to reside. Now we're going to have 7 options available to us. It's probably easier to view these on this screen, and then I'll show you what that looks like within OneDrive. But these are the 7 that I commonly use. Of course, open is pretty basic, right? You open the file. And if there's an application we're going to show, it's going to allow you to open that file either in the web browser or natively within the application that's loaded on your hard drive. Share gives you the ability, we're going to go into more detail about this in the video. Sharing allows you to share the file with others and collaborate with others. This is a pretty cool feature. We can copy the link, we can add it to our favorites, and our favorites allow us, and you can see the favorites right here, just allows easy access to the file. So it's something that you use regularly. We can download the file, although discouraged, but if it's needed, here's the download. And then rename it's very helpful because it allows us to, and I'll stop there and you can do a screenshot if you want, but rename allows us to capture the name of the file itself if we want to use that, for example, in a task that we may be doing as a reference point, or it allows us maybe to even add a task ID to the file so that when we search in our attachments, that file will be associated with that task. So however you use that, rename is a very helpful feature as well. So let's just go back to the actual OneDrive and walk through this together. We just did on the instruction sheet. So it's kind of a reminder here. We did OneDrive, we clicked on the waffle, we hit OneDrive. My files, very obvious what it is, and attachments. Again, pretty obvious that there are attachments, okay? And here we have, I've done this test a couple times. So here we have test 1. Now, I have automation that runs in the background. If you look at well, anyways, the email message will go away by the time we're done with this video because it'll delete it out. But here, let's just go back to OneDrive, and you see the file is right here twice. So that's a file actually from Evernote, from OneDrive, and we hit Save to OneDrive. When we click on here, these are the options. Remember I said you can open in browser, open in app, and then we reviewed all of these options from the Evernote page here where we went through it. So now let's walk through sharing this file. So if we want to share this file, we just do a right click on it and we select share. Now share gives us multiple options. We can add somebody's name here if we want, or a group, their email, and just share it with them. Remember, if we click here, we can edit, view, and restrict them from downloading. So the default is edit. I don't do either of these. I have on occasion put one person's information, for example, and then wrote them a message and hit send. What I typically do is send them a link, but I need to adjust the link before I send it. So I'm going to click on here so we can adjust some of the values. Now my default is to share with anyone and doesn't require a login. This for organizations that allow for this. A lot of organizations, you will not find this as an option. But if you do, it's convenient, then anybody can access the file. A lot of organizations have this blanked out, and really you have the second line here, which is within the organization. So somebody has to have a valid username and password within lushadvisors.com, within my Office 365 environment, to access that information. So for example, in a public organization or large corporate organizations, this feature is rarely available, but this one is. So you're allowed to share freely within the organization. They just have more restrictions when sharing outside your organization. In either case, select which one you want, people with existing or people you choose. It doesn't matter, however you want to do it. Usually I do it this way. You can then readjust again what option you want for them, and then you can set an expiration date. Now notice if I'm selected on anyone, I can add a password as well. This password is not the Office 365 password. This is a generic password that you create. Gives you a little more security on that file that you're sharing to anyone in the universe. So you're allowed to do that. But notice when you're within your organization, you only can set an expiration date. Expiration date is just set by saying whatever day you want it to expire, and then that share that you've created goes away. We're going to go ahead and take that off, but we're going to say, okay, apply. Now, once you hit apply, it doesn't look like you've done much, but you have. You want to select copy link. Now, once you copy the link, it's going to copy it, and notice it reminds you again that it's an edit, that you've enabled people and who you've enabled. Okay? So if I change that, for example, to here and hit apply and then hit copy link, notice it says anyone with the link can edit. Okay? So just be careful. This is another reminder of what you need, and it's been copied, meaning it is copied into your memory. Now I'm going to go, although I can squeeze this down. Okay. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to paste that information in, and we're going to see it go. Okay. And that is the test message right there. There's not much to it. But you can see that the share actually did work. So that's all that you need to know about sharing. One of the other, so let's go back over to the document here. And there we go. All right. So we went over this right here, the different options to share. We click on the gearbox number 2. Then we talked about the different options here, whether number 4 only appears when number 1 is there. And then here we're going to just hit copy link, and then let's talk a little bit about working with the files inside of OneDrive. So working with a file within OneDrive is actually a great thing. Let's go ahead and open this file, for example, and we're going to open it in its browser. Typically, I open it inside of the app if I have the app loaded on the system. Notice here at the top, it tells me my status and it says I'm saved. I can also look at version history on this file. I can show edits or not, who edited the file. Very nice, and very nice to kind of keep track of things. Notice I can delete information as well from the file, and it will automatically save. I don't know if you noticed that blinked a little. I'll do that one more time. It blinks and then it goes away. If you see the sync, the 2 arrows kind of circled, that means that it's not syncing or it's trying to sync. Maybe you don't have a network connection. Notice that you don't have save in here. You have save as, but you don't have save anywhere on the screen because it's automatically being saved. When you're done with the file, again, whoops, daisy. When you're done with the file, we'll go back there. You just simply close the tab for the browser. Just close it. Now, anybody else who has access to that file will be able to look at this file at the same time. Notice here it's shared, and when they do, their ID will show up on the screen, so you'll know that they're there. That is really, I believe, all that we have here. So here, confirmation, here are the different features. So that's about it. Pretty easy to share OneDrive information, and it makes the information very consistent and repeatable for you, and allows you to clearly, or not clearly, but easily share with other individuals. Good luck.